All right, so this is the crypto newbie call for November 16th, 2021. And we're going to just briefly go over some basics. So you kind of know what's behind crypto. And the biggest thing that's behind crypto is a blockchain. So I'll just skip over to this slide. So if you look at the slide on the screen, you'll see basically a very simplistic graphic that shows three blocks, block 0, 1, and 2. In those blocks, there are a few different things. Obviously, there's the timestamp for when that block was produced, but also there's something called a hash, which you might not be able to read it so well. But in the block 0, it's the orange text, and it's a random set of letters and numbers. And that hash is essentially the label for the block. And that's how the block is identified. Now, within that block is all the transactions that happened when that block was produced. Because essentially, when a block is produced, you having all the transactions that are within it are being verified and confirmed. And once those confirmations are complete and they're part of this block and that block gets produced, then basically everything's been executed. And now it's in that block and it's in the blockchain for eternity, because everything that happens in the blockchain stays there forever. So now when you move to the next block, what happens is that block will get its own hash rate. But that hash won't be the only one in the block, because the prior block's hash will push forward. So in that next block, you will see they have their own hash, and then they have the previous hash. So that's essentially how the blocks are linked together. It seems very simple, but it's very powerful, because without the correct hash in both blocks, then the block is invalid, because it doesn't essentially sync up to all the prior blocks, because essentially each block has the history. So when you go to block 2, for instance, it's got the prior hash of block 1, but in block 1, it has the prior hash of block 0, right? So it keeps going, so let's just say we're at block 1,000. That chain will work your way all the way back to block 0, which on Bitcoin is called the Genesis block. So that's the basics of how the blockchain works, and how it basically keeps the integrity of the data, and it keeps all the data intact. The beauty about that is it's an open source, open ledger, software. It's not run by one centralized entity. It's run by many. It's run by people all over the world that are essentially running a Bitcoin node, what they call it, which is the equivalent of just running a Bitcoin server or running a copy of the Bitcoin ledger. So those quote unquote miners that are trying to mine Bitcoin, they're essentially are the people that are running the Bitcoin ledger, because they're the ones producing the blocks. And in their mining computers, doing all the algorithms and all that stuff, they're also essentially confirming transactions by producing blocks when they quote unquote win that block. So, it's simplistic in its beauty, because it's not complicated to understand how it actually functions. But obviously, getting involved with it, that's a whole nother story. If you actually want to run a Bitcoin node, or essentially run the ledger for any cryptocurrency. And the decentralized network, that's kind of what I talked about, how you have all these different miners or people running a copy of the ledger. So you could look at this graphic as the globe essentially being like Bitcoin, or being the cryptocurrency, right? So that's kind of the centralized thing, as opposed to it being like a centralized server. Instead, you have a centralized common element that everybody is the servers for. So there's no central point of failure with blockchains and with cryptocurrency. And I should say with decentralized blockchains, because blockchains have exist for a while, and you can have blockchains that are centralized. Like IBM has blockchain technology that they use in their business a lot for logistics, like for their logistics tracking. They control that that ledger. They control that blockchain, right? So technically, that's a centralized blockchain. That's not what cryptocurrency blockchains are. They're decentralized. They're run by the people. They're for the people, by the people, so to speak. So that's just the quick and dirty on what a blockchain is. The other thing that people are curious about is, what is a Bitcoin wallet? And in that instance, what is a cryptocurrency wallet? I didn't even realize that I don't have my video on. I don't even know how to turn that on when I'm sharing screen. I'll turn on my camera when we stop the share screen. Anyway, so when it comes to cryptocurrency, obviously you can just buy some cryptocurrency on an exchange like Coinbase or something like that, and be done with it and just leave it on Coinbase and they hold it for you. But you also have the option of taking it off the exchange and holding it yourself. So basically, no one else has control of it. It's fully in your control. No one has access to do anything with it or can tell you what to do with it. And in order to do that, you need a wallet. In the case of Bitcoin, you get a Bitcoin wallet. There's tons of different wallets for obviously different cryptos. But when it comes to wallets, really what you just need to remember is you're going to get wallet keys. The two types of keys essentially are the public key and the private key. Your public key is basically your wallet address. Your public key is what you would share with people. So just think wallet address when you think public key, and the wallet address is what you give people so they can send you cryptocurrency. So if someone wants to send me cryptocurrency, I would give them my wallet address. So an example of that is here, like on this slide shows Bitcoin wallet address, like this address right here, this random set of letters and numbers, that's my Bitcoin wallet address on one of the exchanges. I think it's Bittrex. I can't recall. But anyway, theoretically, someone could copy this address and send me Bitcoin if they wanted to. And that's fine. You can share your wallet address with the public. That's what it's for. It's kind of almost like, look at it like an email address. But your private key is a different story. That's basically your password. You don't want to share your private key with anybody, because if you do that, then they can essentially spend your crypto. They can send it to whoever they want. They can send it to themselves. They could use it to buy something. So look at your private key as your password, like you would to your online banking account, right? Pretty straightforward. So just make sure you don't share that one. And then the last thing I really want to share in terms of this is the seed phrase. So if you were to open a wallet, what happens is, let's just say you open a software wallet. So in this infographic, basically it's showing the example of a software wallet. And when you open it, what happens is they give you a secret phrase or a seed phrase. And that is this example right here. And it can be anywhere from like 12 to 24 words, but it's a random set of words in a specific order. So when you get that, you want to make sure you save that, because this is your last resort kind of savior. If for some reason you lose access to your wallet, whether it's you lose a cell phone, your computer blows up, whatever it is, because you're able to then download that same software wallet, that same type of, software, that same wallet onto a different machine. And then instead of creating a new wallet, you basically import. And when you do that, you put in your seed phrase. And what it does is it would import your cryptocurrency off of the blockchain, because like I said, whatever happens on the blockchain, it always stays on the blockchain. So by doing that, you're pulling your Bitcoin off of the blockchain, so to speak. I mean, it's still there, but you're pulling the information off. So like basically it's in your wallet. You have access to transact with it now. And that's another beauty of the blockchain. You could, and I'm sure it's happened after Bitcoin, went up, a ton in price. There was people, digging through the crates and recovering Bitcoin, now that they had hundreds of thousands of dollars probably. And then there's the opposite stories where the people didn't save their secret phrase and can't access, millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin because it's on some old computer that they threw out and is, gone, buried in a dumpster in a landfill somewhere. So that's why the seed phrase is important. If you use a wallet off the exchange, if you don't, then you don't have to worry about any of this. You can just leave your cryptocurrency on something like Coinbase or Voyager or crypto.com. And then, it's fine. I mean, obviously, if any of those sites get hacked, you have to worry about your crypto possibly. But the centralized exchanges, are getting pretty big, pretty prevalent, and that's less of a thing. I'm not saying it's not going to ever happen again. I'm sure it will. But anytime you hear about a hack, it was never crypto getting hacked. It was an exchange getting hacked. It was someone's personal wallet getting hacked, and that's either because information was exposed or whatever it was. Like the blockchain doesn't get hacked. Cryptocurrency essentially doesn't get hacked because cryptocurrency runs on the blockchain, and that's something I'll leave you with in regards to that. cryptocurrency isn't the blockchain and the blockchain isn't cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies are just something that run on a blockchain. So like the Bitcoin blockchain has many things running on it, including Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin cryptocurrency is the main thing. That was the first thing. There's other cryptocurrencies that run on the blockchain. So that's just something to keep in mind. They're not, exclusive to each other. Cryptocurrencies are kind of a layer on top of the blockchain. So, and I always share this if any of you have not started investing yet. See if I can I'll put this in chat. The Coinbase offers $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up, and I think do your first like $100 in crypto investing. And a lot of other apps have good bonuses too. But to put that in there. So yeah, that's pretty much the deal with that. So right on schedule for a little Q&A. We got about 14 minutes. So I'm going to stop this share and turn my camera on. And there we are. And if anyone's got any questions, feel free to unmute your mic and ask, because obviously we just have a small crowd today.
Hey, Mitch, Voyager gives away like $25 worth of free Bitcoin too if you sign up. And
I shared that link last night. I just don't have it handy.
Hey, you know when the recording's going to be up? Like I couldn't make it last night, but I did purchase
Honestly, the funny part is if I wasn't on this call right now, I'd be emailing it out. I got it loaded up. I had to create a like an email group for just like, the people from last night. And I pretty much had it all ready to go, but then I was running out of time. So after I get done with both tonight's calls, so probably like 9 o'clock, and then I got to decide if I want to send it out that late or if I'll just schedule it for first thing in the morning. But yeah, it's going out either tonight or tomorrow morning. It's queued up. I just have to create the actual email now.
Roger that.
Yep.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Alan. Yeah, he had trouble signing up for LeoFinance. For some reason, the Metamask with the Fox symbol, that went, and I think it's because he was trying the Twitter option to sign up and just ran into problems with old passwords and that sort of thing. So I'm not a big Twitter user.
Gotcha.
Do you recommend reading for Google and maybe Facebook to give options at some point to sign up with, or did I try one of the other? I think there were two other alternatives.
Yeah.
Presently.
I pretty much gathered what you're asking. You were breaking up actually pretty good there. So the problem is like the Facebook and Google option. I don't know how far down the line that is, because you know how it goes with development or anything. It's just like the answer is always soon, and you don't know if that means a couple of weeks or a few months. So yeah, obviously the Twitter one is the easiest, but if you have problems with Twitter, then either your option is go a different route or just create a new Twitter account where what your credentials are. Otherwise, yeah, you can go on to
right.
You can go the route of. In fact, let me open up LeoFinance. You can go the route of using MetaMask or just creating on Hive directly. So like if you don't have a MetaMask wallet already and like you don't plan on getting one because you're not going to really be doing any kind of like DeFi type stuff, then the Hive option is honestly, it's actually the best option, but it's also the most labor intensive, so to speak, in terms of getting started. So I'm just on the site myself right now, kind of poking around because it's been a long time. So what do we got? Create a username, verify that you're not a robot, securely save your password. All right. And then what do they ask? Put in a new account. Okay. And then verification method, you can either get texted or they can hit you up on Twitter. So what I would do, actually, hold on, let me share my screen back out.
The thing is, I was wondering if I'm getting ahead of myself, because I was able to create a MetaMask but I wasn't able to sign up for LeoFinance. But do I need, like what is the simplest or primary steps to take? Because maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse.
Yes, because well, I mean, the problem is the answer to that question is it depends on what you want to do because you might have a MetaMask wallet for a reason because you plan on using it in terms of either putting crypto in there or moving crypto around, which you don't really need a MetaMask wallet unless you're going to do more than just buy some hold some crypto on like Coinbase or Voyager or something like that. If you're going to move it off there and then you want to swap it into some of these more obscure type coins, then you would need MetaMask. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole because you have to be careful about what type of coins you send to MetaMask because that's an Ethereum based wallet, but it also does support other blockchains like Polygon and Binance Smart Chain. But you can't send Bitcoin to it. Like Bitcoin, if you sent Bitcoin to a MetaMask wallet, basically say goodbye to your Bitcoin. Kiss it to the crypto gods. It is gone. So, you don't even need MetaMask unless you're kind of going further down that route. I mean, you can invest in tons of cryptos without having MetaMask. It's more so if you're going to get into that DeFi, staking stuff, kind of that like Ryan McGovern was asking about yesterday. So
Yep.
I think if the Twitter's not working, I think your best bet is just to go the Hive route. And as far as LeoFinance goes, I'm assuming you sign up for LeoFinance, obviously either because you're going to do some blogging on it, some posting, or maybe you're going to just stake a little bit and earn some curation rewards. But you just hit the get started, you hit create Hive account. It gives you, the things it talks about. You hit continue, you put in whatever username you want. Now I'm going to tell you, if you've already plugged something in here, it might say that's already used. And if it does, you're just gonna have to, create, think of a different name, but you plug in a name and then you can leave it for the, SMS, for the text message. And then, I don't know, let's see what happens when I just put in.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do last night because I saw everybody sort of sharing their new handles, but I couldn't sign up in time before the session was done. So I figured I better take my time and do it right.
Yeah, no worries. And it's not the end of the world because you could always just create another one. So like you see right here, what I did, I just put in Scaredy Cat because, I Scaredy Cat guides me, but put in Scaredy Cat. And then, it says, it's interesting. It says download keys before register, but you'd want to hit this. I kind of don't want to do it because I actually don't want to create this account, but I'm assuming that, you hit download keys, and what's key about that, no pun intended, is that's the most important part of your account. So LeoFinance runs on the Hive blockchain. On the Hive blockchain, you have keys. Now, the Hive blockchain actually has more keys than I've taught you about, but it's really not important. You have the keys you need. So you would download those keys, and then those are going to give you access to push forward, because what's going to happen is when you sign into LeoFinance, it's going to ask you to sign in with some kind of service, maybe Hive Signer. And with that, you use your key, which usually could be like the posting key or the active key. But it'll ask you for it. Like it has the directions. So the whole point of this is that you're downloading the key so you have what you need. Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm going to probably have to record a video of creating a new account offline for people to make life way easier.
Yeah, I don't want to monopolize the Q&A, but if there's like the next, like if last night was step 1, if there's steps 2, 3, or 4, even if they're baby steps to take, yeah, it'd be all ears. That probably would be great. Very
Yeah,
helpful.
no worries. So I thought I was sharing my screen the last few minutes, but so what I was just talking about, like this is what I was talking about now that you can see it. So you saw
Oh,
like
yeah.
I put in a name. I'm going to have it, send a text message to me, which I'm wondering when it's going to do that, because doesn't it need my phone number? Like I'm kind of confused, but it gives me the ability to download keys, which in the end is the most important thing, because once you have keys to an account, then you have everything you need. So,
So the MetaMask account I created last night, I can just leave that off to the side for now until when and if I need it.
yeah, you don't technically
Okay.
need it for LeoFinance. And
'Cause
it
I
might
did get
actually be
those
more of a
12
burden.
Yeah, I got those 12 or 24 words in a certain order or 16,
Yes.
it might have been 16.
Also,
yeah.
when you created a MetaMask wallet, where did you just like Google it and like where did you access? Do you like were you on MetaMask's official site or?
Yes, I think so. I think
Okay,
it was a link, maybe a link you had provided, or maybe it was in that cheat sheet you had
it was probably in the
provided.
cheat sheet.
Yeah.
I got to double check that that's there. Yeah, because I know I didn't put it out there last night. I just put it out there to make sure because like I've had people tell me like they searched MetaMask and like they hit what was more like an ad at the top of the Google page, and it ended up being like something shady. Like so they
So I've got a little fox symbol that's following me around now since last night, so it seems pretty official.
yeah no, they had the Fox symbol as well. So
Okay,
yeah, you got to be careful where you download stuff. You always want to make sure you're on the official site
okay,
because
I'll double check. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, you're probably good. It sounds like, but yeah, um,
But that's probably more like the Ferrari that I leave in the garage until I know how to drive, I guess, until I get my learner's permit or.
pretty much to be honest with you, like
Okay.
MetaMask wallet. And I'm not gonna lie, like honestly, if you do some research, like you could go on YouTube and search, for like things, like MetaMask wallet, and there's plenty of people that have recorded like different tutorials and things with the MetaMask wallet if you want to get more familiar with it.
I'll focus on the Hive and LeoFinance. That seems to be the one the group is, you know, that seems to be the sandbox everybody's in right now, so.
Yeah, it seems like we're getting that migration in terms of even like, the alchemist community. But
Yep.
cool. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, give it a go in terms of signing up through Hive and see how that works out. And obviously, if it doesn't work for you, no harm, no foul, can always just try it again with a different account. And like I said, I think I'm going to just either record a video creating a new account or maybe just do it maybe next week I'll just do a live you know creating of a new account, but
Hell yeah.
I think it'll be helpful because we want to onboard people onto it, especially people that would enjoy using it, and there's tons of information on there, so it makes sense for me to get some kind of tutorial out there so people can create an account and
Yep. Great,
move
thanks.
forward.
One last question. Is it something you have to fund, or do you just create it and it's there until you use it?
It is there until you use it. You do not have to fund it. With one caveat, the only issue is, so what happens is you have essentially what is going on behind the scenes is you have resource credits, and those resource credits give you the ability to interact on the blockchain. So when you first sign up, like you might not be able to write a post right away. You may be able to just do some posting. I'm sorry, not posting, some voting on posts and whatnot. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the problem some other people had. And pretty sure when I brought like Walter and Mike and those guys on, I needed to send them a little bit of Hive to give them enough juice to get rolling, to post at least. Because what happens is when you create an account, LeoFinance basically like is gifting that account, I think like 5 Hive or whatever it is, like just enough to basically be able to have the account create and then maybe, probably vote on stuff, but it might need a little more juice than that to get going on post, which is something that's going to have to get probably fixed and worked out because that's a bit of a roadblock. Because otherwise now when people come on board, it's like they got to basically, it's almost like being invited. So they have a friend that can, delegate them a little bit of Hive so they'll be able to, post and whatnot right off the bat. Again, the reason I'm not positive on this, but it seems like the case based on like what Ryan and a couple other people said last night. So that's
Can you
something.
curate right off the bat, or can
I'm
you
sorry?
not do that? Can you curate?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right
So
off
when
the
I say
bat?
voting, same thing, curating, voting, you should be able to do that
Okay,
right off the bat. But if you go like buck wild and you vote on like 100 posts, like you're probably going to be jammed up after that for a little while.
okay,
So in fact, when it comes to that, like the vote percentage, you generally like you'll see the bar on the top right. You really don't want it under 80%. When it goes under 80%, then your vote becomes less powerful. So I generally just vote enough where I'm at the 80% level, and then it rejuvenates. So basically, like in 24 hours, it rejuvenates 20%. So that's generally why I kind of just use 20% every day, so I can stay at my max vote, and I'm still hitting, at least 20 people at a full vote. Otherwise, I can break it up, and I can do, sometimes I'll do a 50% vote and things like that, so I can vote for more people just with less power. But
Okay.
cool. All
Thank you.
right. Well, it's a new adventure, but before you know it, it'll seem like secondhand nature. So we're actually at the top of the hour, but if anyone had any other quick question, I'll squeeze it in before we go. Otherwise, we'll call it a wrap for this call. I know Ace is at his game, and
Yeah, man. They win this one, they'll be playing for the national championship in Orlando next weekend.
there you go. This is a short drive for you.
Yeah, because this past weekend was in Valdosta.
Well, I'm rooting for him. Paul, Rick, if
Appreciate
you're
it.
good, I'm going to call it. And Steve, wherever you are, I'll see you in 30 minutes on the insiders call. So
I'm
appreciate
gonna
you
hit
guys
you up about
coming.
that insider call.
What's up?
I'm gonna hit you up about that insider call.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to finish up with generating business. And I don't know how much long you got on that, but I'll be around. So
All right.
cool. All right, guys. We'll let you go. So Paul unmuted. What's up, Paul?
Not much. How you doing, brother?
Honestly, just keep my head down and pushing forward.
Yeah, a little busy. Good for you.
Yeah, man. Crypto never sleeps.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna get going soon. I'll be in touch too. So,
No doubt. All right, man. Good seeing you.
all right. Have a good night.
All right, gents. Have a good one. I will see you soon, and same bat time, same bat channel next week.